growing up, like my connection to food was pretty strong. Like food was and still is. It was connective. Like when there was death or life or happiness or sadness, there was always this tide of food and community. And that is Southern, but it's also like Black culture too. I find that in Black culture, like you show love by feeding people or offering a spot at the table, and then that's when all the problems come out. Any life event is usually done over the process of making food, cleaning food, eating food, packaging food to take to another spot, you know. And so it's kind of like ingrained in my being, and just seeing that more people are becoming more in tune with where their food comes from and sourcing, and the people who are actually touching um, and interacting with the food. It's been interesting to see, and geeking out with my fellow food people here, specifically in California. I live in a tiny town, Merced, and it's in the Central Valley. And the Central Valley is where most of the farmland, or a lot of the farmland in California, that is producing a lot of the like the almonds and a lot of the produce. It's where it is and where the farm workers are. And so people are like, "Oh, you live in this tiny town. Oh, you're not in the Bay. You're not in LA." And it's like, man, I have learned so much more about myself and humanity living in this small area where all this agriculture is than I ever had in any city. Like in the city, I was able to preoccupy myself so much that I didn't have to battle or do any shadow work within myself.
Mm.
I could just pretend like it didn't exist, put it on this compartmentalized shelf, and just go. And in dealing with like my own kind of everything, I've been able to bring more people into the idea of true farm to fork. Like know that know that really cheap thing, like, yeah, if you can afford it, or if that's what you have, or if that's what is in your budget, go ahead and do it. But if you're able to look at the cost breakdown of like farmers markets, flea markets, things of that nature, then you get a lot more value added when you get like direct source food.
Right.
I actually have taught some kids, like underserved youth. I Before the pandemic, I was going and showing them like, here's how you can make these things stretch. Say you're getting food from the food pantry, and you can add some fresh food to it to make yourself. You can have nutritional food that's also inexpensive. You can like eat really well off of $20. I showed them how to kind of find and source things. I try to do that with myself. I try to do that weekly. Like, okay, so I have this amount for this budget. What can I get that's the most protein rich or the most vitamin nutrient based sourcing? And I find that going direct to my people who are directly connected to farmers, I'm spending less money than I would if I went to more of a big box store. I'm getting less junk food, and I'm having more raw materials to work with.